On this computer. There we go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Inside the Tank. It's an honor to announce today's guest on the show. He is the captain of the Mississauga Steelheads, a U18 world champion, and was picked by the Chicago Blackhawks in the 2021 NHL draft. Please join me in welcoming Ethan Del Mastro to the show. And Ethan, I got to ask you, you've accomplished so much in your young hockey career so far. How does it feel to be in that position?
Yeah, pretty amazing, to be honest, but I think it kind of all starts with, the people I surround myself with, my family just kind of always being there and being able to kind of support me and push me along and kind of just give me everything I need to succeed. They've been there for every step of the way and kind of been there to support me no matter what. And I think just kind of having a good group around you, it just allowed me to kind of excel and kind of do what I do.
For sure, man. And of course, like Tyler said, drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks as a hockey player, of course, that's the number one goal, is to be drafted into the NHL. But speaking on that, I've always been curious to find out about the quintessential draft experience for hockey players. And in your case, the 2021 NHL draft was held virtually, of course, due to the pandemic. So I'm really curious to ask, especially with that scenario affecting your draft, how was draft day for you? I imagine being at home.
Yeah, a little different, just because everything's online, and but it's kind of just a little bit of a nerve-wracking experience. It's something you kind of wake up in the morning and you're kind of just waiting, and as the picks be called, you're kind of seeing people go, and you're like, oh, I think I could have went ahead of that guy, or I think I'm better than that guy, and it's kind of it doesn't really matter at that point. You're just kind of sitting there waiting, and once you get picked, it's kind of just a big relief, and it's just so exciting, and to be around your family, it's something that you'll never forget, and it's just super special.
And the minute you got the call, what was your first reaction when you heard that you were drafted by the Blackhawks?
Yeah, I was pretty excited. I knew that they were a team kind of interest. My agent was talking to them a lot, and just to kind of be selected by such a great organization, and I mean, just the history behind them was pretty amazing. And my buddy was selected in the first round too at the U18, so it's kind of nice going there with someone as well.
Absolutely. And man, the Blackhawks, an original six team, right? Like that's, one of the franchises to definitely be a part of in terms of illustrious history and all that. And with you being drafted, of course, you were invited to attend Blackhawks training camp before this current season. I'm curious to ask about that experience for you. Heading to the States and just participating in that environment with such incredible players, both on and off the ice.
Yeah, it's really surreal, to be honest. You're going there with some legends like Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and Marc-Andre Fleury. There's players that you've kind of seen growing up, and dreamed of meeting them, and kind of be skating on the same ice surface as them. It's pretty crazy. So a little overwhelming though. Trying to get to know all the staff members and just kind of get to know everyone there. At first camp. So it's kind of just a feeling out process, and overall just an amazing experience though.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm also curious to ask about the initial conversations you've had with Chicago in terms about your game. What were some of the things they wanted you to work on in terms of your game throughout this OHL season that you think you've improved upon or worked on compared to how you played in your rookie campaign?
Yeah, I think when they selected me, they knew that obviously my defensive side of things was one of my strong points, and they wanted me to continue that with kind of dominating on the defensive side of things and the OHL, but they also wanted me to pick up my offensive side and just being able to kind of handle the puck and make first passes and just kind of certain things like that is just going to help me in my career.
And during this season earlier on, we also mentioned earlier that you won the U18 World Championship. What was that feeling like, getting to play with guys who, not just that you've played with your whole life, some of them, but they're up and coming prospects, and just being able to play for Canada, rep the Maple Leaf?
Yeah, I mean, it's cliche. Everyone says it. That's the best feeling, but it really is. It's something that you never forget, and an experience like that where you're winning as well. It's something that's crazy, and some of the players that are on that team, they're going to be players that are going to be NHL superstars. So it's pretty crazy to think that you're playing on the same team and you won a gold medal with them.
Absolutely, and you and the team brought huge national pride. I know. At least in my house, and I live in a household full of hockey fans, that was a really, really proud day to be a Canadian. And this is a question I've asked JR and some of your teammates in the past, because of course, since we're now sitting here, the regular season's winding down, the playoffs is officially on the horizon for you guys. What is the mentality going into the last 8 games of the regular season? What do you guys want to achieve in those games?
Yeah, coming into playoffs, I think you kind of really want to dial it in and start playing that kind of playoff style a little closer to that time coming. You want to be rolling into playoffs and being confident with your play. And that's pretty much, I think, the key to kind of having a good playoff is when you're playing those last couple games, really dial it in and kind of getting that playoff mindset. And I think that's something that JR really kind of been talking about in the room recently, is just kind of, there's the last couple of games, so you really got to make the best out of it. And, you're still fighting for playoffs position. So it's very important to kind of get the wins in these last couple of games.
And I think I can speak for a lot of Steelhead fans when we say that we're very excited to not only see you guys back in the playoffs, but finish out the regular season. It's been very fun to watch you so far this season. And, quite frankly, continue to impress. So congratulations on a great regular season, and we're looking forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's kind of a regular season that not many people expected from kind of a young group. So pretty proud of how we kind of turned out. And, we want to continue the success and obviously make a long playoff run.
Absolutely. I want to turn it over to some of the fan questions that we asked now. First question comes in from Sarah. So she asks, if you were not a hockey player, what would you be getting into?
See, that's a tough one. All I've really thought about ever is kind of being a hockey player. But I mean, kind of, I thought about sometimes as, my mom was always, telling me have a plan B. And I kind of never listened to her, but just always had in the back of my mind, maybe becoming sort of like a hockey agent or something like that. So that way I can kind of stay in the game, but, kind of still get that feeling of being around the rink and stuff like that. But, maybe if I wasn't a hockey player, that's something I'd choose though.
Definitely.
All about hockey, man. Fair enough. Now this next question comes in from Tim. He asks, having been to the US and with yourself being Canadian, which coffee shop do you think is better, Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts?
It's a good question. I think I still got to go with, the hometown Tim Hortons. I think nothing beats that no matter what.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. There's nothing better than just going and getting a coffee or bagels or donuts in the morning from Timmy's. It's just something that if you grew up with, it's hard to leave,
Exactly. It's hard to leave, going over there. Sometimes you're looking around and you're saying, I need a Tim Hortons. There's too many Dunkin' Donuts around here.
Exactly. Lila asks, if you could steal one of your teammates' skills, what skill would you take from them and which player would it be?
Maybe I'd take Dalba Baluz's hands. He's got some pretty slick hands, and I think just having those kind of hands as a defense would be pretty useful.
No, fair enough. He's been having an incredible season, making incredible plays. So you know what? Good player, good skill to have. Absolutely. Especially as a defenseman. This next question comes in from Cameron. It's actually kind of a two-parter. His first question is, what are you most looking forward to playing at the NHL level? What are you most looking forward to there?
Yeah, I think kind of just being able to kind of play for my family and stuff like that. The people that have supported me this whole time and kind of been with me along this whole journey and kind of done everything for me. I think kind of being able to allow them to kind of watch me night in and night out, just kind of fulfill my dream. And I think it would just make them all super proud. And just having that experience with them would be pretty unreal.
Fair enough, man. And Cameron's second question is actually, I would pretty much say a pretty old school kind of hockey debate here, hockey debate question here. He asks, when taping your stick, do you go heel to toe or toe to heel?
Yeah, see, this one's tough. I mean, back in the day, I used to always go heel to toe. I think this is kind of what my dad taught me and how he used to always tape a stick. And then I think kind of going to junior and just going to see kind of other players and their different kind of things. And I think with Austin Matthews kind of being a kind of big kind of first toe to heel guy, I kind of made the switch, and now I've been toe to heel for a while now.
Coming in, the last two questions are coming in from Justin. So his first one, he wants to know if you have any pregame superstitions that you have to do if it's a game day.
Yeah, I'm not the most superstitious person, to be honest. I mean, some days if it's a Sunday 2 p.m. game, then I'll go and I'll get this a snack pack from Starbucks, and I usually always do that. But I mean, if I don't, then it doesn't really affect me. But I have stuff that I kind of follow, but it's not that superstitious where if I don't do it, it's going to mess up my whole game. Right
on. And then the last question that he has is, what if you could tell your 16-year-old self something back in your hockey career, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
I think kind of just being confident. I think that's something that you obviously you get over time, but I think when you come in confident in yourself and in your ability to kind of make plays, it just allows you to kind of be that much better of a player. And I think if I was a little more confident and a little more confident in my ability as a 16-year-old, I could have done even more. But yeah, that's just something I think maybe tell a lot of 16-year-olds, not just myself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Confidence is key, as they say. So it's important to definitely build that up for sure.
Exactly.
So Ethan, both Alex and I wanted to thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. It's fun, and we would love to have you back sometime if you'd come back.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Thank you very much. You can catch Ethan and the Steelheads finishing off the regular season and going into the playoffs. Once again, if you haven't already done so, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification for all future content. Follow us on our social medias below, and we will see you next time.